We specialise in protecting, preserving and growing your wealth. Blacktower Financial Management, the team you want by your side. Visit blacktowerfm.com.
Talking to Christina Brady from Blacktower Financial Management. Let's talk about Blacktower Financial Management, shall we? And some of your products. Now, some new products around, you were telling me.
Yeah, it's been a very difficult time really over the last few years when people have come to us and they've said, look, we would like something that gives us a return on our money, but we want it capital protected. Because interest rates were so low, there was absolutely nothing out there that paid anything at all. But now things are changing and there's some very, very good products out there that we have that offer capital protection. There's one which is called a fixed term annuity. It's run by a company called Nighthead, and they have a 3-year fixed sterling deposit, which is paying 5.05%. What it does is it doesn't pay it pays it out after the end of year 3, so you get 5.05% per year for 3 years, and then at the end of 3 years you get back your capital and the interest. It's capital protected. It's governed by the Cayman Islands, so it's not within the EU, I have to point out. They've got the Euro one as well, which is paying 3.75, and they also do dollars. And that's something, and the minimum deposit is 25,000, so it's not a huge amount. And that's something that's fixed and you know what you're getting at the end. And there's some other things that are coming out which are called income deposit plans. There's one by Royal Bank of Scotland, and what it is it's over 5 years, and what you will get is 7.3% per annum if on the observation date, which is every year, the FTSE, I think this one's the FTSE. Yeah, here we go. Let me just check. On the observation dates isn't above 120% of the strike rate or lower than 80%. And if you look back over the last 5 years, the FTSE hasn't done that. It hasn't on a certain day. So what happens is in the first year, it looks on the observation date. And if the index is between those levels, you get 7.3% put in your account. If it's not, the plan continues till next observation date. They check again, you get 7.3 until the final observation date, which is in 5 years. They check again if the underlying index, whatever that will be, is between 128% and 80% of the strike. If it is, you get 7.3 and you get paid back all your capital. So over the 5 years, if it was there every single time, you've got a chance of getting 7.3% each year, which is 36.5% over 5 years, which isn't a bad return. And the next one is called a UK and US defensive growth. So this is run by Barclays, okay, and this is linked to not just the FTSE, it's also linked to the S&P. So it's the FTSE and S&P. So what happens is at the end of, let me just check. I think this one's 3 years. I was trying to remember because I've got quite a few on the go at the moment. Yeah, it is 3 years. And what happens is at the end of the 3 years, if the indices are at or above 90% of what they start out with in this year, so 3 years from now, if they're at 90% of that or above that, you get 21%. So if you put in 100,000, obviously you get 21% of 100,000 paid back to you plus your 100,000. Wow. Okay, and these two are guaranteed in the UK by the FSC. So it's similar to a bank account. So you've got the guarantee up to £85,000 per person. So if something did happen to Barclays or Royal Bank of Canada and they couldn't pay out at maturity, you've got the guarantee in the UK that the government would cover that up to 85,000. So that is a really, really good protection. And these are available in sterling only. But as I said, if you've got euros, you have got the other one. So there are some things out there that are actually very, very interesting. And, I must admit, I have invested a small amount in a few of them, especially the last one I've mentioned, the Barclays one, which in 3 years, if the FTSE and the S&P are above 90% of what they are now, then you get 21% at the end of 3 years. I feel there is a high probability that they will be higher, unless barring a complete financial disaster, which would impact everything anyway. Yeah. So, for people who are worried and they do want the comfort of knowing that their capital is protected, we can actually offer very good products to them at the moment. And most of these products, like the ones I mentioned, these deposit plans and these defensive growth deposits, they're only open for a limited period. So the first one, which is the RBC income deposit, that is open until... I think it is open until it opens on the 15th of May, so it only opened yesterday. And I think the deadline for closing is the 28th of June. So it's got quite a long time. Okay. And the Barclays one, that one again opened on the 8th of May, which wasn't that long ago. And the deadline for that is the 1st of June. Now, these have to be done directly. They can't be done through what's called a Spanish tax compliant wrapper because they're based out of the UK, and because of Brexit, you can't hold UK ISIN codes within a Spanish compliant wrapper, but you can hold them directly. And the one with Barclays, that is 3 years, obviously you don't need to pay any tax any year because you don't get any growth at all till the end of year 3, and then obviously you declare your 21%, and whatever the rate was on whatever gain, you'd pay at that time according to savings taxes. So there's various things out there. The fixed term deposit with Knighthead is the same. You don't have to pay anything until the end of 3 years because you don't get paid out to the end of 3 years. And with the RBC, where you get an annual growth, if you do get the 7.3%, you would declare that on your tax return as savings income each year. So they're quite easy to report. And again, regarding the Modello 720, if you don't put more than 50,000 euros equivalent in and you haven't got any other investments, you don't need to report it. If you do, you just report it. And as long as you report your gain at the end, it has no implication with it going on the Modello 720. So they are very, very good products out there. And if people are worried, I know some people are worried about the stability of the markets at the moment, it is something. You can hold the RBC and the Barclays one in SIPs. So some people that have SIPs with me have decided to transfer some of their money into there. They're on the platform. It just gives you a little bit less volatility in your portfolio, sure. and it gives you that stability if the markets, are going to be volatile, which we expect them to be for the rest of this year and sort of into the beginning of next year.
Yeah, that'd be of interest to quite a few people, I would think, as you say. People are looking for that sort of stability.
It is really one of the reasons I am absolutely rushed off my feet at the moment, because people are very, very keen. And obviously it's really important that when people come in, you explain to them the pros and cons of everything. You make sure that it's exactly right for them and you find the right product for them. So it can take quite an amount of time to go through it with people, but they are good products. And as I said, we did have one which was an RBC income deposit plan, which actually matured. You had to have your money in by last week, and lots of people were interested with that. And because it was so heavily subscribed, so many people went into it, that's why they bought out the new one. And if things do go well, what they do is that once something does, you can't put any more money in because you've reached that final date for putting your money in, they will issue a new tranche, they call it. So it's like number 2, number 3, and it depends on what happens with the interest rates. If they go up, it tends to happen that the interest rates offered on these products go up, and also on the fixed term deposits, they go up as well. Only the week, was it last week, just before the Bank of England announcement, the rate on sterling for 3 years was only 4.9%. It's now 5.05%. So, they do go up. It's not like we're banks where you hold your money and they don't give you any growth on your account, and even if interest rates go up. With this fixed deposit, your rate is fixed for those 3 years. So once you fix it at 5.05%, if rates do continue to go up, obviously you're fixed at the 5%. But for most people, that's a damn sight more than they're getting in their bank. Right.
Well, that's piqued anyone's interest. Add to Christina's workload and get in touch and say you're interested.
Why not send me over the edge?
Yeah, quite. Well, you have people working with you, of course, and you can handle it.
I do. But at the moment, we're like treading water like these little ducks. We were really calm on the surface, and underneath our little feet are going really, really
paddling
quickly.
Away furiously, quite. But plenty of ways to get in touch. The email address is the useful one, isn't it? That's info@blacktowerfm.com.
info@blacktowerfm.com. FN stands for Financial Management. You can always call the office at 965058212. If we're not there, leave a message, please. We will get back to you. You can always go onto the BayRadio website and look under advertisers, Blacktower. If you click, take you through to our website, which is blacktowerfm.com. And remember, this isn't just open to people who live in Spain. It's open to or English expats. It's open to all expats as long as you can speak English and read English. It's open to all nationalities. People in the UK can have it, people in Spain, people in France, people in Germany, people wherever. It's open to all of you. So please, if you're not British, don't feel that you can't get in touch with us, because I have lots of clients. I have Dutch, I have Norwegian, I have Swedish, I have Australian, New Zealand, German. So we're not just confined to UK expats. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to get in touch.
Okay, some bits of interest today. Thank you ever so much for your time as always.
Thank you very much for having me.
Speak to you in a fortnight.
Listening and exceeding expectations for over 31 years. Blacktower Financial Management, the team you want by your side. Visit blacktowerfm.com.